Today we're going to briefly go over reasons for training, the benefits of an employer providing training for their employees. When we think about this, there are two primary reasons. One of them just makes great sense and is probably the primary reason why all employers should provide training for their employees, and it's this. Employees who have received training are less likely to make errors and have or cause accidents. Employees who receive training are statistically much less likely to make mistakes and therefore to cause or have accidents. This is critical. You lose time, you lose money when employees are injured, when there is an accident that maybe shuts down that department or that area. All of this just makes sense. The time and the money invested in training more than pays for itself in the reduction of errors and therefore accidents. So it just makes sense. Employers should train their employees. However, that's not the only reason. Just because something makes sense doesn't mean that people do it. So there actually is a legal requirement of employers to provide training for employees. The Occupational Safety and Health Act requires that employers provide safety and health training to their employees. Now, depending on the area or the type of industry, those health and safety regulations would differ, but the basic idea is this. The Occupational Safety and Health Act requires employers to train employees in the use of personal protective equipment. Different industries have different types of protective equipment, and the employer must train the employees in the proper use of the protective clothing and equipment. They must train them in regard to safety protocols, how to work in the environment in a safe manner, and what to do in case of emergencies, where the shutoff valves are, where the fire equipment is. All of these sorts of things are required in training. Also, they're required to train the employees in the proper use of all safety equipment for themselves and for others, and then how to protect themselves and others given an emergency situation. So if you're in a hospital, here's where the oxygen cutoff valves are. If you are working in a chemical plant, here's where the shutdown equipment is. Here's how to work this particular lockout, tag out, those sorts of things. So basically, depending on the industry, the Occupational Safety and Health Act requires the employer to train the employees in basic health and safety practices. So it makes sense, and it's required by law. These are just the basic ideas for the reason for training, why it's good and important for employers to train their employees, and just some of the things that need to be covered in that training. If you'd like to learn more about this or related matters, then there's a link underneath this video. If you'll click on that link, it'll take you to the website that has that information. And while you're on that website, you'll also find a link to an ebook that's ready for immediate download.